Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Financially Forever After. We are your host, Lindsey and
Brett, the money maker. Come quieter.
Here offering you some relationship tips and advice and trending ideas, as well as
Financial tips, financial advice, year-end stuff. We covered a lot of what financial year-ends to do last time, tax ideas and whatnot.
You answered some financial questions.
Yeah, so we're going to sneak preview a little do's and don'ts.
Ooh.
Life insurance.
Life insurance.
Do's and don'ts, like mistakes people make, things what to do, what to not do.
Yeah, I like it. So you're teasing it in?
I'm teasing it in here in about 15 minutes. That's what I'll be talking about.
I like it.
Boom.
So I was thinking today about the other night. It's obviously daylight savings times now, so it gets dark pretty early. We're in the Midwest, and I would say by 6 o'clock, it's pretty pitch black outside.
Yeah, right around there.
And your office is a little bit down the road from where our girls take dance, but it's still close enough where you can walk, get a little exercise.
Like 3-minute walk, maybe.
Yeah. So the other night, our youngest, I was going to take her to dance, and she didn't want to walk. She's like, "There's crazy people out at night. We're not walking." I was like, "It's a short walk. We're going to get some exercise. It's nice out. Let's go." So we start, and we're maybe not, we can still see our office, the financial office building, but all of a sudden we just hear this deep yell, and we both look at each other and we go running. And I don't know what made me turn around, but it was you.
It was me.
Neither of us thought you came out of the office. So she had just got done saying there's crazy people out at night, and you have this deep guttural yell.
Well, Sienna didn't tell me bye. So I wanted to go say bye. And then you guys are both walking away. So I go outside and I go, "Goodbye, my love."
All we heard was, "Oh,"
and then they took off as fast as they could. I was like,
and this is
y'all crazy.
Just after the fact, I told her, "Don't worry, it's just because it's dark out, it's safe." And then you go and mess it all up for us because you were in between parked cars, so we couldn't see you.
I was visible, but you didn't look. You just heard it, and you guys took off immediately.
So, yeah, she definitely got her steps in that night because we sprinted pretty much.
And you came back and you realized it was me.
No, I turned around and I did see you because I thought you were some man coming out of the trees because our office is surrounded by trees. I'm like, did some crazy person come out of the trees to be chasing us with a machete?
You guys took off so fast.
The worst case scenario is running through your brain.
I laughed a lot.
Needless to say, I bet any cars driving by were like, "What are they doing?"
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. But anyway, so yeah, daylight savings time be doing us wrong. It's like 5:30. And it's already dark outside, so I'm not loving it.
I wasn't even trying to scare you, but
I know. But
funny.
Isn't it depressing when you're getting out of the office after hours and it's pitch black outside?
It just makes me tired. It makes me want to go to bed sooner.
Yes.
It gets to be like 7:30.
It
feels like 9.
Yeah, it was Sunday. We were with the kids playing games. We're like, it's almost bedtime, and we look at the clock. It's like 6:30. We're like, oh,
shoot,
it's not as late as we thought it was.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get into our stuff today for relationships. And we're talking marriage today, specifically.
Okay.
Marriage conversation. So I'm actually getting this information from marriage.com, but this rule is something a lot of people know about. We've covered the 7-7-7-7 rule.
Is that from Friends? A 4-3, a 6-4, 7-7-7.
And if you missed that episode, definitely go back and listen to that because it applies to more than just marriage, lots of relationships. It's like seven days a week, then you get a date.
And where would they listen to this at? Or where would they go to?
Question. I like how you pop that in there every now and then. Well, you can listen to us on Spotify and Apple. You can definitely watch these awesome people on YouTube and
Beautiful
listen
faces.
at the
That's
same
what she was
time.
trying to
Make sure
say,
you hit
yes.
that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. And also, we're on all the social media platforms. But where can they ask questions if they have questions?
Go to the website, financiallyforeverafter.com.
Mm-hmm.
Ask a question, leave a comment. You can apply for a 15-minute consultation with myself or one of my 2 advisors to assist you in your questions or retirement or whatnot.
And if they have relationship questions.
You can also, on the exact same website, ask a question, leave a comment there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're going to talk about this 3x3 rule today. And, you know, you've been pop quizzing me lately. I feel like it's due time for you to be pop quizzed. So
Lordy.
I'm going to ask you, my husband, what do you think the 3x3 rule is in marriage? No pressure.
You should get action 3 straight days.
Why do I even bother?
Hey, I figured that was a good response.
So no, that is
Bet you weren't expecting that.
actually, I mean, it probably does factor into this a little
Oh,
bit,
there
but
you go. See?
in general terms speaking, the 3x3 rule in marriage indicates each person in the relationship should get 3 hours of quality time, both alone and with their spouse, a week. So 3 hours total for yourself, 3 hours total with your spouse a week, where you get to have that time to decompress. Maybe you like to read, maybe you like to golf, maybe you like to hunt. It's hunting season right now where we live. So just setting that time aside and kind of scheduling it in advance. And this is especially true for couples who have children at home. This is where it really factors in, because having young kids at home, we're kind of getting out of that phase where we have teenagers now. They don't really need us as much. But when we were in the trenches and having little babies and little toddlers, this rule would have really been nice to have. I think we kind of did it, not really formally, but we kind of applied it, not quite as formal as this is. So basically, it's different than the 3x3x3 rule in the form of anxiety attacks. You know what that one is? I obviously know this because I have panic attacks. Our son dabbles with, or not dabbles, but is affected by anxiety as well. He doesn't dabble.
Dabble's like,
oh,
what sounds good today? I'm gonna dabble on anxiety.
A panic attack. No, that is where you 3 things that you can see, 3 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear. So it's not to be confused with that. So what does this 3x3 do for you, do for couples? Do you have any ideas? What would you think that, now kind of knowing what it means, what do you think it would do for a couple?
Well, I know, like, for myself, I think it's a decompression / stress reliever. I would say, like, I love to go play basketball. So one night a week, I go play basketball, and it's good for me and gives myself like a chance to recharge. A lot of times, you know, when I do it, I'm exhausted from a day of work, but I still go because I'm like, I need to go. I enjoy this. So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
At least for me.
It's like working out. You feel better after
you know, I know you love to like read. So you can be like, hey, I can decompress. I can take my mind somewhere other than where I am right now.
Yep.
Just kind of relax and chill.
Yep. Totally.
And do it. Am I supposed to do the one together or no?
Yeah, well, this is just for both, actually.
Okay.
So yeah, you're totally on the right page. They said, number 1, it helps to develop a routine. So when couples have kids, they get into that groove of giving all of themselves really to their children. And, you know, they're, especially again, toddlers and babies, they're very needy. They want you now, and they want what they want when they want
hold me and hold me.
Yep.
Change
Hold me.
And I gotta cry.
Play with me. Watch this. Watch this. Watch that. So you kind of lose a little bit of yourself when you have kids. Not that having kids is bad. I'm not trying to say that in any way, but for a little while, for a few years, you do kind of miss a piece of who you were before kids and maybe who you and your spouse were before kids. So developing a routine, it helps you kind of prioritize that time together. We've talked in previous episodes about how setting a time aside for a date and knowing it's on the calendar. You either have to find a babysitter, ask family to watch your kids, but it's on the calendar. You both know about it. And it's something to look forward to. It's something to, look at the calendar and say, yes, we have a date coming up this weekend. That's something to be excited about. Or if it's your alone time, I get to go golfing this weekend, whatever it may be, fill in the blank. They also say it can improve your relationship. So this is a big aspect of it, is creating those healthy relationships. So when you're mentally sound, for yourself, you're feeling good about yourself, you have that time to decompress, you can be a better husband, father, wife, mother, partner. So it's very important to have that time. And like you mentioned, it gives you a break to just decompress and take your mind off of what's going on. And even if it's a nap, you and I have gotten to that phase of Sunday afternoons. We go to church, we have a lunch with the kids, and then we like to take naps. And it's been a long time.
It's been a long time since we got a nap, but yeah, we did one this past Sunday, and it was very much needed for about an hour.
It's like you're drooling. You're like, that was a great nap. It was really good. But again, our kids are older. They don't need us.
Yeah.
They actually want us to go.
You're like, oh yeah, we'll go do our own stuff.
They want their time. So it's been really nice because again, you and I don't always have the same schedules. Things get busy throughout the week. We're running kids places. So even just having that little nap to cuddle is awesome. I look forward to Sundays to do that. Again, allowing for alone time. So finding time to spend alone with your partner can also be game changing, especially when you have kids. Again, we've talked about dates too when you have littles. Let's say you live somewhere where you don't have family to watch your kids, or you don't have a trustworthy babysitter. Having them maybe go down to bed and then setting some time aside and planning your date. Maybe it's in the basement or another part of the house where it feels like a date. It's scheduled, but your kids are still there, but they're asleep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Where maybe it's not budget friendly for you to be able to go on a date outside of the house, but you can make it work in the house as well. It's just about spending that quality time together. Gives you that time to hang out. So how to tell if you need the 3x3 rule in your marriage? So number one, they say you feel like there's too much to do. And I know I can relate to this all the time, especially I was a stay-at-home mom with the kids when they were really little. When you never leave the house, it feels like there is always something to do. The laundry's always needing to be done. The dishwasher, there's piles of toys everywhere you look. Fill in the blank. It just adds up. So you just need that time to kind of get away from the house, get away from the responsibilities. So if you're starting to feel like it's hard to manage those feelings, this might be a good time to implement this rule. You're arguing more with your spouse. Would you agree with that? When the kids were little, did we bicker a little bit more than we probably do now?
Probably. I don't know. We're talking like 10 years ago.
Yeah. But looking back, I know we did because, you'd be at work working a stressful job. I'd be home with the kids, stressful in its own right. Little toddlers aren't quite conversation worthy, the same level of adults all the time. It's fun. It's great. It's wonderful. It's rewarding, but also can be a little stressful.
What about retirees? What would you recommend for?
But retirees, again, these rules wouldn't really as much apply to them because they don't have the kid factor. This is more for people that are married that are experiencing with the kids right now. Because retirees, you have all this time.
You can have you can have 7 hours alone, and then we'll have 7 hours together. It's fine.
Exactly. But to add to that, it is still important to set time aside to do things apart from your spouse, because it makes you stronger partners as well when you're able to enjoy each other, do things together as a couple, but then also have your time alone. So these are just some ideas as far as strengthening that relationship, figuring out what could work for you and your spouse. They definitely recommend sitting down together and setting some ground rules. So, for instance, if you have 3 hours of alone time, are you comfortable with me taking those 3 hours all at one bulk? Or is that going to be too much with you and the kids? Do you want me to space it out? Those kind of things where, or maybe not back-to-back nights. Well, I have pool Monday night, I have basketball Tuesday, you know what I mean? So it's just spread out a little bit, but you need to set those ground rules aside. And then making sure, you're getting it on the calendar. So you both are aware of it, you both know about it, and it's something you can look forward to as well. So there you go. 3x3 rules for those that are in the trenches. Trust us, it will get better. But then again, you have teenagers. I'm sure
and that is your episode of Lindsey's relationship tips.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, what do you got for finances for us?
All right. So today we are going to talk about some real life stories on life insurance mistakes from various different places, different articles, different blogs or whatnot, and what has happened, what to do, what to not do. And we're just going to chat a little bit about each one of those. So I have multiple ones to go through. We might not get through them all, but that's fine. All right. So this first one is not reading the fine print on policy exclusions. So a widow shared her ordeal in the financial planning article after her husband, so this is from Financial Advisor magazine, while insurance claims get denied. They shared her husband's accidental death. The claim was denied because the policy excluded deaths from hazardous activities. So what would you think a hazardous activity might be?
Ooh, I mean, bungee jumping, skydiving, anything that would potentially cause death faster.
Yeah, like I've seen bull riding before. I've seen scuba diving before. So her husband actually died while scuba diving, and they hadn't noticed that in the paperwork that if they died while they scuba diving, that it would actually be denied. So unfortunately, the widow did not receive any money.
I mean, you've obviously done with a lot of life insurance policies. Is that a general rule for most of them?
So most of them, they've changed it. So this might have been in the past or just a different company that I'm not used to. But most of the time, and the thing is if you have a hazardous thing like that, they could potentially exclude it right away. I don't come across too many scuba divers, but if I did, that could be an exclusion. Most of the time, they don't care what you die from as long as it's not like war or like you're going in the military, something of that nature, or suicide within the first 2 years. That's the most common ones that are excluded. But if you do have some of those...
You mean war? You don't get life insurance if you're a soldier?
I mean, you get paid probably through the government or whatnot, but it isn't... You can't like, hey, I'm going to go battle. Let me go get a big life insurance policy where I'm going to go...
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, there can be some exclusions for that type of stuff, so... Okay, so that's one. Let's see here. Letting policies lapse unintentionally. So a man thought his bank was taking care of premium payments via direct debit, but there was a technical error and the policy lapsed. So when he passed away unexpectedly, his family discovered there was no coverage, resulting in a financial strain for survivor. So that was from Investopedia, Why Life Insurance Lapses. So the most common way that I set policies up or they get set up is typically EFT. So just electronic funds transfer, so right from your bank account. But there's an issue with his direct debit. So you could pay your life policies quarterly, semi-annual, annual. And if you pay it annual, you just write a check typically and it comes right out. But you want to make sure that it's getting paid. So if it's coming out the 15th of every month and it doesn't come out the 15th, look into it. There's a problem. Because obviously it could have very much unintended consequences should something like that happen. All right, next thing. I'm going to quiz you here.
Oh, cool.
You love it.
No.
So do you know the difference? Actually, I'll just say this. Do you know what a term life insurance policy is?
Term life. I'm assuming it's like based on years.
Yeah, exactly. So it lasts for a very specific time frame. So it is typically the cheapest life insurance, unless your work's going to give it to you for free. But if you get your own, it's typically the cheapest life insurance that you can get. And it's a set term. Like it's 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years. So like if I got it right now and I say, all right, if I get a 20-year term for the next 20 years, I'm paid the exact same premium during that time frame. However, if I get to year 21, do you know what happens?
It goes away. Like you've hit your term.
It could, but you could also continue it on if you want to, typically. But what happens is the insurance rates, I've seen it go anywhere from about 4 to about 20 times the premium that you were previously paying during that 20-year time frame. And then it'll go up the first year and go up the second year and the third year. Then it turns to what's called annual renewable term at that point. So you have the same rate for the whole year, but then it keeps going higher and higher and higher. So you don't want to get in that annual renewable term time frame. So that's a term policy. And I've never had one person where the spouse passes away and then they come to me like, well, was that a term policy? Was that a whole life policy? Was that index universal life? Like no one ever cares what type of policy. They just want to make sure that the coverage is there for that significant other should somebody pass away. But there is different types of policies that do different things. So this particular policy for this individual, it says buying whole life insurance without understanding it. Now, I'm telling you right now, every single type of life insurance has a different type of purpose for it. So whole life policy is very much different than a term policy. So whole life, it's intended to last your
Whole life.
whole life. But it typically has a cash value associated with your cash value keeps increasing and increasing, and your death benefit typically will increase and increase as well. And most of the time there's no surrender for the cash value. It's just whatever the cash is worth, you can get it. Other types of policies, index universal life, variable universal life, things of that nature have surrender charges or penalties to get out some of the cash. But this particular gentleman had whole life insurance. So it says, a doctor wrote about his regret after buying a whole life insurance policy on the advice of an agent without understanding the product or comparing alternatives. Years later, he realized he was paying high premiums for a policy that didn't suit his needs and lost thousands when he tried to cancel it. Now, this one must have been some type of variable whole life or index link whole life, or there's so many different types or kinds. But so for this particular individual, they said, hey, there's a surrender charge to get out of it for him. And when he went to get out of it, he got charged that particular surrender charge, but there might have been a cheaper way. So any ideas on a cheaper way? What type of policy that has a specific time frame?
Term.
Oh, there you go. Good job. So he could have got a term policy, right? A term policy would be cheaper. And I'm not saying term is the answer. Term could be the answer in certain situations. So a lot of times where term would be a good solution is, let's just say here you were talking about marriage and young families and things of that nature. So say you have a family, say it's me and I got a wife and 3 kids, and here they are, one's 5, one's 3, one's 1. I mean, that was us at one point in time. And if something happened to me, you would have been out a whole bunch of money for income coming in. And if I die, you wouldn't have cared if it was whole life insurance or index universal life or term insurance. You just want to say, hey, I want to make sure that my spouse or that I'm covered, which would be you at the time, in regards to lost income. So term is a lot of times really good for younger individuals looking to cover like up until they get to college or something of that nature. After that, there's other types of policies that might work better. Like I know you and I don't know if you realize this or not, but earlier this year, we got a couple other policies that have some long-term care benefits and permanent policies. Those were index universal life. Once again,
you doing that because we're getting to the middle of our life?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So,
yeah, someone asked, is Brett getting gray hair? I'm like, well, we are in our middle 40s.
So
middle of life now.
The correct answer would be no. I'm
Silver
not
fox.
getting gray hair.
You've had it,
I've had it.
but you're getting more.
I'm getting
There you
more
go.
is the gray. I had it as early as 30. So here I'm
You had a gray hair at 30?
not a gray hair.
Multiple? Oh my, we're reviving. I thought it was blonde or something.
Are you not paying attention to me
Apparently
anymore?
not.
You didn't use those 3 hours of bonding time with me to pay attention to my hair.
Touche.
So, no, but I got some index universal life policies for us earlier this year to cover some long-term care. later on down the road, because I know long-term care expenses get more and more and more and more. So I say, hey, no better time than the present. We're younger than, 60, 65 by the time frame. A lot of people think about getting long-term care somewhere in their 50s. But if we cover it now, it's way cheaper than what it would have been down the road. So it covers life insurance. So if I die, you're good to go. If you die, I have coverage for you as well. And then also our long-term care needs. So we are taking care of.
Does that include like a at-home?
Yep.
Sweet, because I don't want to be living in a nursing home.
Yeah, I mean,
our youngest did say she would take me.
So we'll get on a tangent here. Well, that'll be good for that. I'll kind of side tangent here.
Okay.
So in regards to that, yeah, there's different type of policies that do different things on the life insurance front. So some can be like they're meant to be long-term care and have a little bit of life component to it. And the other ones are like, hey, you have the life and they cover some on the long-term care side. Ours is kind of like a combo of right smack in the middle. But, on a long-term care policy, because, you've had to sell some stuff for nursing homes and whatnot in the past, or a different job that you had. But usually you have what's called elimination period. So after a 30-day or 60-day or 90-day wait on one of these policies, that's when the companies will actually start paying you out. On the life policy, on the long-term care aspect, they do have that same elimination period, but instead of paying you out on a monthly basis, it's a lump sum. So, for instance, say we got a $1 million policy, we would get saying that we couldn't do the 2 of 6 activities of daily living, which is like eating, bathing, continence, transferring, all that stuff.
Familiar.
If you can't do 2 of those, they just write you a check. So we don't have to just get a monthly payout. So like on $1 million policy, $500,000 check, they will write a check and they're fronting that death benefit to us early. So that's money that we don't have to use from our other investments, and we use it for long-term care. And the thing is, you don't have to just use it for long-term care. We can use it for whatever the heck we want. So like, hey, we want to take the kids or grandkids or whoever we want on a trip. Fine, take them on a trip. We're not using our other investments. They can keep growing. The death benefit will just be reduced by the amount that you withdrew, but different ways to do it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is life insurance has many different aspects, many different uses. So just wanted to cover today a couple things on how people might have done it wrong, what not to do.
Yeah.
We'll have more to come on that. Maybe next time, maybe the following.
Well,
we'll see.
and it just makes me think, because we've known people who have been younger families that have lost the spouse. And I never really, when we were back in our younger days, I know you talked about life insurance a lot. You sold it, and I just never really seen the value until I saw it firsthand. These young families were affected by it, and how it can really come into play, because you just never know what could happen. You don't know. And having that reassurance of, even though my spouse is gone, at least we're not having to stress about money.
Correct.
Is a
it
thing.
can. Yeah, you're already so worried about the devastating loss that you endured and your kids have endured. You don't want to have the financial strain on top of it.
Definitely. And maybe you'll cover this next week, but quick question, because I keep seeing this on commercials for whatever reason. Life insurance that you don't have to go through the blood work and everything like that. Like, talk about that. What is that? Is that a hoax? Because I know I had to do it, blood work, and you did too.
Yep.
And they're pretty in depth because they want to make sure you're healthy. So how can you do these things that they're promoting?
It's not a hoax. However, here's the deal on that. If you go through the underwriting to get a very specific rating for yourself for that life insurance policy, they can say, hey, you're super preferred rating or you're rated something else. And it's just specific on you. If you're saying, hey, I'm not applying for coverage that I have to do any exam on, then they're grouping you in with everybody else that's out there. What type of rating do you think that everybody that's applying for those types of policies get? They're probably, and I say probably, stats are, and history suggests that it's all the other unhealthy people as well that has trouble qualifying on their own policy, and that's why they have to go to that. So they might say, oh, I can get it for a year or two. Well, they know that, and they'll just raise and raise and raise the premiums till you eventually drop it. And a lot of times it's not for a lot. It might be 10 grand or 15 grand or 25 grand because they know, oh, there might be a couple of these unhealthy people that do kick the bucket in the near term. We're going to have to cover ourselves. But otherwise, the rates will just keep going up and up and up. So if you're healthy, do me a favor. Please don't get one of those because you're going to be overpaying for that. You just really are. Go through the processes to do the underwriting. Now, granted, they've actually changed the underwriting rules a lot. So like, for instance, the policies, like you're like, hey, I didn't have to do any underwriting, or you did on like a past policy.
Yeah.
But a lot of times if you're under the age of 60 and it's $1 million or less, you might not have to do any underwriting, as in pee in a cup, do a blood draw, have them come to the house, things of that nature. You'll still have to fill out the medical stuff, but you will not have to, depending on the company, once again, go through the pee in a cup, blood draw, and all that good stuff.
Gotcha. Well, good information.
Yep.
Let's say they have questions about life insurance or other stuff. Where can they ask that?
Oh,
One final time.
well, you go to the website, financially, the number 4, financiallyforeverafter.com. Ask a question, leave a comment, or you go to shunkwylerfinancial.com, ask a question there, and
Get you taken care of.
we will get you all squared away. Where else can they listen to us?
Yep.
at?
Make sure you're following us on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, but listening on Spotify and Apple. And make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube so you don't miss any future episodes. Well, we are going to cover a little bit more on that in next episode to give you a little teaser. Got some holiday stuff in the mix as well.
got some.
So
Would they want to watch us? Would they want to watch us?
absolutely. Last year we did. I mean, you were my shirt last year, and it was a real treat.
Was it you are the share the joy?
I did.
So if you haven't
never
watched it,
know.
check out
back
online.
and
Go
watch
to
that
the
episode.
financiallyforeverafter.com or go to the YouTube
Our
channel,
most viewed.
and you can
videos.
see me wearing Lindsay's Christmas
Yep.
outfit, because I told her, I'm like, hey, this will be good. Let's wear on the podcast. Let's wear some Christmas outfits. And she grabbed hers, and then what she thought was for mine, but it was another one of hers. It was another one of hers.
I mean, you looked really buff in that because it was extremely tight.
Hey, you want to look jacked? Just wear your wife's shirt that's 3 sizes too short for you.
Or too small.
Too
yeah.
small for her. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us on another episode of Financially Forever After, a Love and Money podcast. Securities offered through Great Point Capital, LLC, member SIPC. Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Acadia Life Insurance. Shunkwyler Financial is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management, LLC, acronym AEWM, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Acadia Life Insurance are not subject to investment advisor requirements. AEWM and Acadia Life Insurance are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Shunkwyler Financial is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Shunkwyler Financial.